Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. How
Yay.
are you guys doing? Are we doing swell on this wonderful Friday? It's rainy where I am. I think we're getting the remnants of the hurricane weather happening in Florida right now. And so
hmm
it has been gross all day, which, in my opinion, is perfect writing weather.
Yeah, sounds cozy to me.
Exactly. All right. I am going to let my guest introduce herself. We have the lovely Brielle here on the channel. Everyone, round of applause. Round of applause.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm Brielle. I have my own channel, Brielle Writes. And yeah, I'm going to be working on draft 2 of my new adult fantasy today. I'm on chapter 9, I think, now. So we're actually getting somewhere, which is great. Hi, Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa. Welcome to the stream.
So
That's
yeah.
so exciting. Well, and if you're coming here from Brielle's channel and you do not know who I am, my name is Cody the Writer. I am currently in the process of finishing, I guess, draft 2.5. I don't know at this point, of my debut mystery thriller. And yeah, I'm almost to the end. I think I'm in like chapter 25. So I'm in like that last quarter, and the scene that inspired this entire rewrite is the scene that I get to write tonight. So I am so excited. I have been literally chomping at the bit to get to this scene,
Big moment.
and we're here, and you all get to share this fun time with me. Hi, Becca. Welcome. Thank you
Hi.
for the claps, Ian. We're so excited you're here. Oh, I forgot we were writing today. Hi. So glad that you're here to write with us. I'm on chapter 15, need to make some movement today or else. Hey, you were on chapter 12 not that long ago. So it sounds like you've already been making some movement. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Yes.
Alyssa, at least you're not. See, look, even Becca's with me. Because I think it was on our stream, our last stream, that you were on chapter 12 and now you're on 15. So,
That's serious progress.
be nice to yourself. You're doing great. But yeah, like I said, I'm currently revising. Me and Brielle are both revising. Currently, we have finished the first draft
hmm
of our manuscripts, and we're in the process of. I don't even know how you describe it. We're in the trenches, if I'm being so totally honest with every single one of you here.
Truly, I don't know about you, but I miss drafting quite a bit,
Oh my
actually.
gosh, I miss drafting so much and brainstorming because I was talking actually with Becca today. We were on a little Zoom call earlier, and I was like, the first draft is literally the like lowest amount of pressure in the whole process
Yes, the stakes are
because
all around.
you're just literally in your own little imagination playground and typing out a story on paper, getting literally everything about this world and these characters out of your head onto paper. And by the end of it, you're like, oh, I feel so relieved.
Yep.
But then you get to editing. And my God, today, if editing is not gonna take me out, I don't know what will. But it's fun for its own reasons because I know that with each pass, the actual quality of the words that I regurgitated in the first draft are getting better.
Yes,
So there is that sense of accomplishment, but it's a different feeling for sure.
I agree. It's rewarding in its own way, but it's a little bit more grueling in the moment, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, but before I wrote the first draft, I thought writing an entire manuscript was daunting, but
hmm
reading and ripping to shreds and reorganizing a document of that size, it's a whole other beast.
Yep. I totally agree.
Truly, because you're like, you mean I have to now search through all of these words to find out what to cut, what to keep, what to elaborate.
Yeah,
Ugh. It's fun
absolutely.
in its own right. And now that I'm nearing towards the end, I have a much more positive outlook on this draft. But
Yeah.
at first, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to do this." But
Yeah.
we persisted, and here we are. I need to
You
catch
said
up on
you
the chat.
were you said you were trying to get this done by the end of this month, right?
Well, you see, yeah, I did say that. Thank you for reminding everyone that I did indeed say that. Um, but really, I'm hoping to really have it done by the end of the first week of October.
Okay.
So it's still close, but I think that's a more reasonable time frame. Let's see. It was a dark time. I saw a quote on Threads say that said, "Let's be real, we're all just writing to get to that one scene that set it Exactly. And
Fair.
I'm doing that scene tonight. Truly in the trenches. Hi, friends. Thank God it's Friday. I'm in need for these sprints tonight. You and me both. Okay,
Mhm.
me both. Alyssa, 15, you're actually so fast. See, you're slaying the game. Look, more hours on chapter 4, to be honest. Hi, Tiara. Welcome. So glad I got here early. We're so glad you got here early, too. I am also trying to get it done by the end of the month. Only 29 chapters. Ooh, you know what? I support you. I do support you on that. I think you're gonna crush that goal.
Absolutely. In the bag.
Me and Alyssa are doing like a critique partner thing. So she's actually going to be reading the first
Ooh,
little bit of my pages on October 1st, and I'm going to get to read some of her pages. So
that's fun.
very excited to read Project Gas Station.
Love that.
Hi, Miss Blogger. Hello, Grace. Welcome. So glad to finally make it to a live again. Hello, Lillian. Welcome. Hello, Cass. Just listening at work because you guys are my favorites on Author 2. Worked on my first draft this morning, though. Well, thank you so much, Natalie.
That's so
We
sweet.
appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically how this is going to go, we're going to do 3 sprints. They are going to be 25 minutes apiece. Sometimes that last sprint gets cut a little short because I don't know how to shut up, but that's okay. That's why you came here. In between the sprints, the floor will be open to you all to ask me or Brielle questions about our story, about our publishing plans, about our thoughts on literally anything and everything writerly related. And we'll be happy to answer those in between each session.
Yes.
So Brielle, what you said you're working on chapter 9?
Chapter 9, and it's truly just the last like 25%. And it's like the first semi-bonding moment between our love interests. So I'm excited to sink my teeth in.
Okay, it sounds like we both have some fun scenes to write. I do have a quick question for you before we get started because I love hearing about other writers' processes.
Mm-hmm.
For this draft, did you start with a blank document, or are you working from the first draft and like editing and doing all that?
Okay, great question. Because I'm kind of wishing I had done it differently. What I did was I just made a copy of draft 1 and then I'm going into each chapter and editing it. So all of the material's already there and I'm just tweaking. In hindsight, honestly, maybe next time I will start with a blank document so that I don't limit myself so much.
Yeah.
And so that I can do more rewriting because I kind of feel like maybe I should. But yeah, what is your process with that?
Well, I mean, the process, I don't really have a process since this is the first time, but what I actually did this time was the first pass that I kind of did through it, excuse me, I just kind of like highlighted things and I went into my Google Doc and just like fixed the little things that were easy to fix before I got like big feedback from beta readers.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did from there was I started a whole new document. And the only things that went from the old to the new were because each character has their own POV chapter. I kept those. And then there are also articles that are sent to the group as like in a threatening manner, if you will. And I kept all of those. But everything else, all of the really narrative chapters, I started completely from scratch. And I sort of had to because the narrative chapters were initially in like a third person omniscient, which I feel like I did that mostly for my brain to know everything. And all of the new narrative chapters are in first person present tense.
Yeah.
From the main character's perspective. So I had to
start
blank from there.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been having a lot of thoughts lately of like, would the book be better if I had done just like a full rewrite, like pretty much a full rewrite? Because I feel like I'm better equipped now than I was when I started.
Agreed.
To write it better. So I don't know. More and more rewriting and fresh material is happening. So we'll see what ends up happening, but it's interesting.
Yeah. And I found the thing that like helped me, especially since I was starting from a blank document, is because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't leaving out any of the important things that I had already like set in the first draft. So what I did was I had like my Google Doc of the first draft and my Scrivener pulled up. And basically before I start each of the blank chapters, I give it a quick read through and I like in my Scrivener like file on the notes side, I just type out little bullet points of all of the big like things that need to either happen, or the things that we need to see, or a certain conversation that needs to happen. And then whenever I actually go to write it, then I kind of get to play around, but I still have like a little miniature outline for that chapter that I stick to keep me from veering too far away from the story as it should be, you know?
That's so smart. And I feel like I could see myself doing something very much like that. And even if there is like small chunks that I really like, pulling them over,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be so helpful. Or even just like bottled water 2000 said in the chat, copy and pasting each
There we go.
chapter as you're working on it. Because also it's not as satisfying. You don't feel like you're actually making progress if all the chapters are already there. Yes, the
Yeah.
old version, but your mind doesn't see it that way. If I was actually adding chapters as I went through draft 2, I feel like it would be more rewarding, you know?
Yeah, agreed. And because I mean, I think that's why I'm so excited for tonight, because I get to write that scene that I added. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, I'm adding a big
Yeah.
thing now. And so it's really fun. And also, I'd love to pick your brain about your experience of, because, you know, whenever we're in the drafting phase, our goals are very word count based. And
Mhm.
obviously with editing, you're adding, taking away. So word count is not obviously a great way to track. It's not a good way to track, honestly. And so how have you been sort of tracking your progress since we both can't really go off of word count really anymore?
Yeah. No, interesting you asked that because that's been some like my focus this week is like finding a new way to track progress to stay motivated. And I've started basically just setting parameters for myself every day I write. Like, okay, I'm going to write for 2 hours. And then it's just about showing up for that length of time. Or I'm going to do chapter 7 today. Whatever happens to it, it's done, like cutting
Yeah.
myself off. So that's really helped me going into a writing session with a goal. And then if I hit that time limit or I finish that chapter, I can feel accomplished regardless of word count.
Yeah, I definitely found it was better to switch to more of a time-based goal than a word count-based goal, especially in the start of the editing process. You know, me picking out all the things and like fixing those. But now that I'm in this redrafting phase,
Mhm.
I'm back to sort of a word count goal because I'm drafting new chapters basically.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, important to know when to use word count as a motivator and when not to use it.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that the hard way.
I agree because I also was starting to feel like, am I even making progress? And then I would look back and I'd be like, no, Brielle, like this has changed so much, but you can't see it in a
Yeah.
number. So I think the time goals are really underrated because that's still a
Hmm.
number. It still gives you that feeling of accomplishment and it lets you like acknowledge the more invisible progress. So
Yeah. And it's also, I feel like, easier to incorporate into your life
Mhm.
because you can say, hey, you can look at your day and be like, from 8 to 9 p.m., I'm going to work on my book. Whatever I'm
Yes.
doing, I'm just going to work on what part I'm at. Whereas
Yep.
opposed to, like, you know, you can't guarantee that next time you sit down, you'll get 1,000 words. You can
Exactly.
sit there for an hour and get like 300. But, you
Exactly.
know, yeah, I agree. We're going to be doing a lot of brain picking just because I love that kind of stuff. I love talking about it
Love that.
and sharing different experiences with other writers. All right, we'll
Mhm.
catch up on this chat real fast, and then we're going to jump into our first sprint.
Sounds good.
Hello, Dreaming Truth. Hello, Molly. I'll have to be leaving farm emergency, but I wish everyone productive sprints. Oh, well, I hope your farm emergency is okay, and I hope you get it handled. Thank you for saying hello. I did a revision that way for the wedding season, and it was nice for making progress, but definitely ended up being difficult for overthinking. But I still can't decide which way works better for me. Yeah, I feel like once I get to the end of this draft, that's gonna be when I'm like, okay, which one really works better for the story? But
Yeah.
we shall see. Agreed. Which one? Use one word to describe your main character. If your book has multiple POVs, then one word for each of them. Um, my one word for my main character is guarded.
Fun. We love the baggage.
Yes, we do. Emotional damage.
Similarly, my first one that came to mind was Jaded. So love that for us.
I love that for our main characters. Hello, Victoria. All right, let us get into our first sprint. We have 25 minutes on the clock. while we are writing. If you think of any questions you want to ask, drop them in the chat, and we will catch up with the chat when we come back at 25. Also, Brio, you've been in one of my streams, so you know about the rain sounds. But to anyone that doesn't know, I like to play rain sounds because they are very calming to me.
So
If you
calm.
don't like that, please feel free to mute until the 25 minutes is up. But best of luck to everyone, and let's go. Alrighty, that is the time. Brielle, how did you do?
Pretty good. It always amazes me how fast the sprints go. I was pretty much just rereading the parts of chapter 9 that I had already worked on and doing some like tweaking.
Yeah, I literally, I don't know if I actually added any words. Let's see. Oh, I added 64 words, but that is because I was redoing the end of the chapter before the one to basically connect it to the scene that I want to write. And
Mhm.
for whatever reason, my copy and paste function in Scrivener was not agreeing with me. So we had to do it the old fashioned way and just retype some stuff, but it's fine.
That's fine.
We made it work. But yeah, how did everybody in the chat do? I'm going to catch up on the chat here, see if we have anything. I marked the last one. Hi, Andy. Welcome to the stream. Not tried copy and pasting as I go through revision, but it sounds like a much cleaner way to go about it.
Yeah.
See, I tried to do that where I would like copy a chapter over from my first draft, and I don't know, it slowed me down, I felt like. But you know, everyone's different, which is beautiful. I feel better now because my one word was depressed. Oh gosh. Love it, love it. Okay, we'll do this. If you could give a quick 1 to 2 sentences about your book, what would you say? And it doesn't have to be like, synopsis. You can just like say like vibes of like something that it kind of resembles or something, I
Well,
guess.
first of all, I'll say elevator pitches is the most terrifying thing in the world to
It
me.
is. It's very scary.
And
That's
so,
why I tried to make it sound less scary.
yeah, if you put me in front of like an agent or something, I think I would have a heart attack. Um, but I feel like at the beginning of my videos, I have now like one sentence that I say that sums it up, which is like, new adult fantasy, enemies to lovers romance, dystopian vibes. So that's my elevator pitch.
Love that. Love that. And I'm just going to stick with what I said at the beginning of this process, where the vibes of my book is a mixture of Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Interesting.
So that's my,
Combo.
yeah, I like all those things separately. So I was like, let's just mash them all into one thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hi, Kristen. I'm working on structural edits from my editor. Ooh, that's so exciting. I think after I do this next critique partner situation, that'll be my time to start working with a professional editor. And my pockets are already screaming, but it's
Yeah.
fine. If you could cast an actor to portray your main character, who would you pick? Oh, that's tough. See, I don't like to usually pick actors because I feel like it kind of boxes you in. Because if I say a name, if people read this book that are in this stream right now, they're going to imagine that actor, and I kind of want to leave it up to their imagination. But I'll still give an actor's name that gives me the vibes. So give me just a second to think about that.
That one's so tough. I think I would have to go Lily Collins. I feel like she's just, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Lily Collins.
And I'm just gonna stick with my Riverdale stream of consciousness because I feel like Cole Sprouse.
I love Cole Sprouse.
Me too. I feel like he could pull off a Logan for sure. Because he's kind of like that intellectual, witty kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Milo Manham for the character. Okay, Slay, cast yourself. You better work. Animals got out, but they're all accounted for. Oh, the farm emergency has been handled. So happy to hear. Spent the whole day alternating between my series outline and a string of post-paycheck errands, i.e. groceries. Those post-paycheck errands really do hurt my soul. Because I think I saw like a video on Facebook or something, or it was like a TikTok where it was like this girl at her house and like she walks into the house, she's the paycheck, and it's like, oh, hey girl, good to see you. All right, I gotta go now. Bye. It was good seeing you. And like I was like, I felt that.
Funny.
Let's see, mostly rereading than 118 words. Very nice. So this will generally be a hangout for me. That's totally fine. Finished editing chapter 6. Congratulations.
Yay.
Andy's the one that you've read the first 5 chapters, right?
Yes, and it was
Ah,
beautiful. It was beautiful.
love. Well, she's working on the next 5 for you. got through chapter 15, but now I came across like 5 new scenes. So, hey, we love discovering new things.
Yeah.
OMG, the stress of an elevator pitch. I cannot. Every time someone asks me about my book, they better be prepared for a 10 minutes of me talking to them. And I've always said that
I'm
because
the exact.
on a side tangent, like I'm gonna start talking about the deeper meaning of everything. Like it's gonna be very unhinged.
I'm literally the exact opposite. Like, I will provide zero information, and then they're like, "Can you give me a genre? Can you give me like the person
Yeah,
in your name, like something?" And I'm just like, "It's a fantasy."
yeah. And
Uh,
mine is a mystery thriller. If I didn't already say that, but I think I said that. I don't know. Sometimes I'd be dissociating, but it's fine. I spent that sprint convincing myself that I should actually do. Hey, I'm glad that you could. Oh, okay. Convince yourself. Okay. Do we want to talk about this?
let's, shall we?
So, okay. Fun fact. Actually, on Monday, I have a video coming out talking about like my plans for quarter 4 of 2024, and okay, so I do not support the actual organization that is NaNoWriMo, but I love the idea and the community aspect that NaNoWriMo brings to the month of November. I will be doing like the challenge to, try to fast draft something, and it's going to look very similar, but it is going to be just me doing a November challenge with the writing community. It's not necessarily, it is not at all tied to the organization of NaNoWriMo. And I know there's a lot of people on the internet that are talking about, they're naming new challenges or whatever. And I don't care what you call it. You can call it a rough draft relay. You can call it the zero draft zoomies. I don't care what you call it. But as long as you are setting a challenge that is attainable for you and you're having fun, that's my piece on the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a good video that covers this information, Alyssa in the Books is in the chat. She posted a video about it. I know Daniel Green has posted about it. Meredith E. Phillips. I don't talk about the drama in my video because enough people have already reported on it. I just basically say my whole spiel that I just told you. So you all just got a sneak peek of Monday's video. You're welcome. Brio, what do you think?
Yeah, I also just talked about this in my most recent filmed vlog. I have very similar thoughts. It was never about the organization for me. I'm there for the community. And, people are coming up with all sorts of names. At the end of the day, we're all sort of doing/referring to the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think as long as we are, in consensus that the actions of NaNoWriMo are not the best, the organization, I feel like we can all still participate in the event
The
of it.
spirit of what NaNoWriMo means as
Exactly.
opposed to the organization of NaNoWriMo.
Absolutely. And honestly, I am at this moment still thinking of using the term just for people being able to find it and
Yeah.
find my videos about it, just because it's recognizable. But obviously, I won't be using the website or endorsing the website. So,
Same.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the tea on that. Honestly, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but me personally, I do not support the organization based on recent events.
Yeah.
I just finished eating and now I'm ready. Well, I'm so glad you're ready because we are ready. Finally finished another draft of my short story, working on a flash fiction story now. Ooh, tell me more about this flash fiction, and congrats on finishing another draft of your short story. You've been working on that one for a few streams, so that's exciting. Alyssa, ooh, drama, my favorite topic. I feel like it's been so like oversaturated on the internet, so I was like, I'm not even gonna say a piece. I'm just gonna, the people that need to know, the people in these streams that regularly come and hang out with me, they'll know my true stance on everything, but I don't feel the need to make a whole video about it. My elevator pitch can thankfully be reduced to a comp. What if Anne of Green Gables became Batman in 1950s Westeros? Wait, that sounds so fun. That is wild and crazy, but
Yeah.
I want to know more. I love that. I would be sold. Totally agree with you, Cody. I'm thinking I'll do the same action plan as you. Agreed. November is a terrible time for me as a student, but I loved the July ones. Yeah. And again, like with Camp NaNoWriMo or whatever, you can, honestly, we're all grown adults here. Well, I really don't know all of you personally, but we're all individual people here. And what you choose to do, you can literally choose to do a 50,000 word challenge any month that you want.
Yeah.
As long as you're, like, again, setting attainable goals that don't, make you beat yourself up in the process, and you have fun. I don't care when, I don't care what you call it. That's it. The end period.
Yeah.
50K sold a K. That's wild.
That's amazing.
Zero draft zoomies. Yes.
Yeah,
Love
that's
that.
good. Did you just pull that out, or
I
had you?
sure. Well, I pulled it out, but I pulled it out actually on Becca the last time we were talking, and I just kept it. It stuck.
That's
So I'm
amazing.
probably going to call mine like zero draft zoomies because that's very on brand for me.
That's so fun.
I just wish we could have one term for all the November challenges people are doing. I agree. And NaNoWriMo was that until now it's not. So we're going into uncharted territory here. LMAO. Oh, I know Clarabelle Ortega runs Finish Your Book Fall. Love that. Finish Your Book Fall. Or you can do like a story September. You can, the options are limitless. My brain.
That's cute.
That'd be amazing, and I'd love to see the community. Alyssa, your humor is unrivaled. It really is. Oh my God, Alyssa. Speaking of, I think it was in your most recent vlog, you actually brought up the name of the organization, and you were like, that name, and then you like did like this little like fun cut where it zoomed in on you, and you were like, I literally laughed out loud, and it was so funny. Really tickled me. Very great editing on your part. Hi, Ebony. Welcome. It's the brain rot. Agreed. I did 50K in June as practice, but then ran out of stuff to draft for camp in July. Feel that 50K in 1 month is so unattainable for me. 20K is more reasonable for me because I usually try to get 10K in a month. Exactly. It's all about setting goals that work best for you, that are attainable for you, because we all have different lives. Some of us are parents. Some of us work full-time jobs. Some of us work part-time jobs. We all have different levels of commitment that you can give to writing. So you should build your goals around what you yourself can attain without reaching burnout.
Agreed.
And I've always said that. It's for a Halloween flash fiction contest. It's about a woman whose husband gets his grave robbed. Okay. Love. I found that I could never keep up. Yeah, same. I actually think there's a short story September already. Okay. Didn't know that. See, there's something every month for everybody. Let's see. Y'all are popping off in this chat. I love it. Fernando, I just wish so many people didn't have individual things they were doing. Like, I wish it was more cohesive and community-wide instead of just one person in their community, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can agree with that. But that's also why I love the AuthorTube community, because we're all, gearing up for some sort of challenge, I'm sure, in Q4. Like, I've seen the 100K challenge that takes place over October, November, and December, to where you're trying to get like 33,000 words a month, which I think is totally attainable if that's something you want to do. I think that's Kate Kavanaugh that's doing that. But there's just so many things. You just find a challenge that works great for you that you can follow along with and do it.
And also, I have no doubt, like, all of this is very fresh, right? I'm sure in like a year or two, we'll solidify like a new like someone's gonna come up with something that will stick, and then we'll have a universal challenge to stick to again. But I mean, all the controversy just happened, so it makes sense that nothing has taken its place quite yet.
Yeah, the smoke is still rising from the dumpster fire that was what occurred.
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe next year it'll be zero draft zoomies and I might start a trend, be the Regina George of AuthorTube. I agree. It's just going to take a little more effort to find that community. It is. It's going to take a little while for the dust to settle, but I guarantee you it sure will. Dialogue is trying to go hard in writing sprint chats. It actually helps so much. So basically, everyone in the chat right now is inspiring dialogue for Alyssa and the books. So you're all really doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much.
Someone the other day told me like, oh yeah, like texting is great dialogue practice. And I was like, I don't know why I've never like looked at my texts and been like, is there anything here? Like, low key, maybe they're onto something with that. Like, maybe I need to start paying attention to my text conversations and be like, is this banter that I can use?
Right? We love it. Oh, Andy has a question for us. I would love to hear from both your thoughts on Do either of you feel potentially overwhelmed at the idea of hitting pause on your current project to start a new one during a challenge?
Yeah.
Brielle, do you want to start? Short answer, yes.
Yes. I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to come back with fresh eyes. So maybe that ultimately is the smartest move because it'll give me a break away from this first book.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I'm going to realistically get to a good stopping point. So I'm probably just going to have to pause mid draft, which is a bit of a bummer. But I'm still planning to do that, even though it's going to be a little less convenient than I was hoping.
Because you're planning on starting to outline the second book in this series, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
so
zoology.
fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with that. Like, definitely pausing. It really just worked out for me that I was coming to the end of this draft of the story, kind of like right at the best time.
Yeah.
And so, like I was saying earlier, I'll probably have this draft finished by the end of the first week of October. And so I'll have like the whole rest of the month after I send parts of this off to people to just not, I mean, I'm not going to have anything to do other than outline. So I might as well outline the next one and then use November to kind of let that story rest, think of a whole new story, have fun, play around, take a
Yes.
little bit of the pressure off that I've had in this current process, and just have fun. And that way, when I come back to December, when I come back to this story and start implementing feedback and all that good stuff, then I kind of have like a revitalized energy that since I got to go and play and do something else for a little while, I can come back to this with fresher eyes and do that.
And it is kind of cool that there are I feel like there are a lot of us that are in this same sort of timeline of we just
Yes.
finished, maybe a first or second major developmental edit and we're about to draft something for November. So like me, you, Andy, Alyssa, like I feel like we're all in a similar timeline, which is very cool. It's like for camaraderie.
Love that. And Becca, she just finished another draft of hers, and she's currently drafting her next one. So like we're all kind of like in this weird phase of like wrapping this up so we can focus on something else for a little bit, which I love. I listen to the books. I'm so honored and cannot wait to watch. Then again, many people get spooked if you send them a text that has proper grammar. They go, "What is this witchcraft?" If your book was made into a movie or TV show, what song would you play in the trailer or opening end credits?
Oh, God.
This is so specific.
Wait, I made a playlist for my book, so I actually do have a song, and it would be People I Don't Like by Upsal, I think. And I do, in fact, often, before I go to sleep at night, visualize my characters being cool to that song. So,
See, the only song that I have associated with this book belongs to literally just one chapter of this book. And it was so I have a character named Anna, and after her secret gets out and we go to her POV to kind of like get the backstory and everything, I listened to the song Daughter on the Cowboy Carter album by Beyonce on repeat. And if you've never heard that song, it is absolutely gorgeous. And the reason I picked that for that scene was because just the lyrics in it very much relate to Anna's origin story. And there's also a scene where she is, forced to go to this gala after something very traumatic happens to her. And it's basically like in my brain when I'm listening to the song Daughter, I can see the fancy like chateau ballroom area, and Anna just like, basically moving through there, almost feeling like a shell of a person. And what she does in that chapter, it all connects. So if you want to one day read my book, listen to Daughter by Beyonce when you get to Anna's chapter.
I love that.
I want to draft my sequel in November, but have concerns that a lot of could need rewritten in the first book's plot is revised form enough. I was thinking that because like what is your plan of attack for that since you're not fully done revising?
I'm feeling similarly. I guess the thing that I'm trying to tell myself is because it's a 1 month fast drafting challenge, even if all I do is explore and it does need a rewrite, at least I'm like getting ideas going for book 2.
Yeah, you're giving yourself a bit of a skeleton.
yeah, a bit of a skeleton, a bit of a brainstorm at the very least in the form of drafting. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that's kind of reassuring me. But thankfully, I don't think anything huge on a plot level is going to change in book one going forward. So hopefully, where we're at in book two will remain somewhat the same. But yeah, at the very least, it's a good craft exercise, and it'll get my gears turning for book two, even if it needs to be reworked later.
Have
So
you had someone read your full draft to get like developmental feedback?
no, that will be draft three for me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I wanted to do 2 developmental edit rounds on my own before
Okay,
beta readers.
cool, cool. I'm so overwhelmed that it might be planning on revisions in the November challenge at the same time, which might be a dumb idea because I'm also finishing up my degree, but we shall see. Sounds like you have a lot going on. So, again, set attainable goals. You don't have to do a whole book in 1 month if you have so many other things you're juggling. Exactly what happened to me this month. Started with one, saw it, put her in my brain, dusted another off the shelf. See, I guess I'm lucky because the 2 stories that I'm going to be working on, like, they're completely standalone stories.
That's
So they
nice.
have like no connection to each other. So even if I don't have everything the way it needs to be in this book, I don't have to worry about it for the other one. It's all new territory to explore and play around and have fun in.
That helps. Yeah, I feel like when they're connected, errors like concerns arise because they impact each other. Like I'm
Yeah.
sure writing book 2 will also impact the changes I make to book 1. So that's a nice way to look at it too of like they're going to have a symbiotic relationship. So actually having what happens in the sequel will help me as well figure out what needs to happen in book 1. Like I want them to have that reciprocal relationship. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to do just a few more and then we're going to jump into our next sprint. I feel like passionately thinking about characters daydreaming up edits of them is part of the writer process. Absolutely, it is.
The edits in the brain it's something that only started happening recently once I can actually picture my characters better because at the beginning I really couldn't. And
Yeah.
it's like it's the best thing ever.
Okay, this will be our last question and then we're doing the next sprint. Are you an outliner, pantser, or planter? I would say that I am a planter because I really enjoy knowing the bare bones, but I also enjoy discovering things as I write the draft.
Hmm.
And because there's a lot of finite details that I don't know going into the first draft that I just kind of wait until I get to that point and then I kind of feel it out. What do you think?
I also would identify as a planter for similar reasons. I had some structure and a decent amount of brainstorming before I went in, but a lot of things surprised me as well. So both.
Yeah. All right. Well, are we everyone ready for our next sprint? Because I know I sure am. I'm actually going to get to start the scene that I wanted to start, but copy and paste was being
Yeah.
rude. All right. Here we go, everyone. Best of luck to you. 25 minutes on the clock. We'll see you then. Happy writing. All right. How did you do? I got that time about 400 words.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we live.
I love that. I don't know if I could say I got words necessarily. Maybe 100 if we're being generous, but I did do some reworking. Uh,
Love.
yeah, so pretty productive.
Still in chapter 9. How did everybody else do? Let's see. We can go back a little bit so we can do a little bit more chatting, and then we'll get to our last sprint shortly. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Glow Llama. Welcome. We love
Can
a
you
night stream.
jump to Amina's comment really quick because she thought I was unwell?
OMG, Brielle, you're alive. You didn't answer my text, and I was getting worried, but then I see you, you here alive and well.
I
Yes.
had a startling situation earlier where a door in my apartment slammed, and I truly thought I was about to be murdered, but it was just the wind. And I had sent her a voice memo in which that happened, so that's why she thought I was
Oh,
unwell.
we had a slight panic.
Yep.
Hey, Renee, welcome. Caitlin joining late, working on outline first chapter of a Sapphic. Demeter, Persephone, Hades retelling. Ooh, fun.
Ooh.
Yes, we're very happy that Brielle is alive and well. And not only is she alive and well, she is streaming on the internet. So even if she wasn't, like Brielle, blink twice if you're okay. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're in danger, blink 3 times. Yep, too close to the sun, and now this random new scene is 3K words, but that's a tomorrow problem. I felt that. I
Yep.
really did. Cass also got 100. Ebony revised 5 pages. Hi, Meredith. Happy Friday to you. 244. I guess that's good. Yes, that is good. Any progress is good progress. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay. Chapter 7 is giving me a run for my money, so that's where I'm at. I feel that. I only wrote 64 pages or words?
It's gotta be worse.
Gotta be words. There's no way you wrote 64 pages in 25 minutes. And if you did, then you have a computer for a brain. A ton of big brain energy, and it turns out I have to put the scenes earlier than I thought. So still progress. We love that.
Yeah.
You solved a problem. Took a
Yeah.
while to get in the mood, turned on music, but getting through a hard scene, got about 385 words. Very nice. Chapter 12 is my enemy and will be the name of the villain of my next book. Okay, words. But hey, still, any progress is good progress. No worries, no worries. Okay, so I feel like our last chat is a good time to say this to the people. I told Brielle about this already before we went live, and I'm also going to be making a video that's going to be a conglomeration of this journey. But because you're all here and you're all amazing, you get a sneak peek insight that today I had my first Zoom session with my book cover designer. So we are very excited. We had a 30-minute chat, and it was fantastic. And we both we just chatted about the book, and like literally we talked about everything in the book. We talked about the villain of the book. We talked about the main character. We talked about the theme, some of the arcs that they go through, things like that, just so he could get a really good sense of the story I was trying to tell, to reflect that in the cover. And there's one specific, like, whenever I think of this book, I can imagine the cover in my brain. And I'm not going to tell you what it looks like because it's going to be eventually a cover reveal video for all of you. But so I had this idea of what I imagined, and I was telling him about it. And after we kind of went through all of the possible concepts, because he's going to give me like 4 to 6 concepts to kind of like as options. And then we're going to kind of go in one direction and refine that to the final product. But we were both just so on the same page about like what we were envisioning for the cover, and it felt really good. And I immediately called Becca right afterwards and just like screamed on the phone because I was so excited.
Aww.
And I just saw a comment. Yes, I do have a title. The name of this book is going to be entitled The Ghostwriters Club.
Have you been saying the name, or is this like a reveal?
I mean, I've kind of been saying like GWC, or I'm sure I've said it in a video before, but I didn't know if that was going to be the final title, but it has now been determined to be the final title. My debut mystery thriller novel is going to be entitled The Ghost Writers Club, and I'm very excited for you all to read it and see more when I can share it with you. I'm so excited.
That's so exciting. Congrats.
Everyone is being so sweet in the chat. Thank you all so much. You're so excited. Slay. Y'all are so nice. So nice. Thank you so much.
So
Yes.
exciting.
And I feel like after that conversation, I was telling Brielle, because she was like, "Are you so excited to write tonight?" And I was like, "Actually, very," because I'm still kind of like coming down from the high of getting to just discuss my book cover with another artist who knows nothing about my book. And this is my cover artist is the same guy who like designed like popular covers. The only one I can think of off the top of my head right now is he did the cover for 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, no way.
Which was like a huge book. It ended up coming to Netflix, and he was the cover designer of that book.
That's so cool.
So he's been doing this for 20 years. And after we were kind of talking and stuff, he was like, "Well, I know you basically just spoiled your whole plot, but if I, based on the concept I offered for the cover and the story that I told him," he was like, "I would pick up your book and read it." And I was like, "Stop. Christian, I can't take this right now. I will literally combust into flames."
That's so sweet.
But it was so sweet. And he just seems so excited and passionate about the story and like the concept, and we're both kind of leaning towards the one I was envisioning. So, but I'll have mock-ups next Saturday. So I might even send you, Brielle, the link so you can vote on your favorite concept. You get a little sneak peek, because why not?
Yay! That's so fun.
Y'all are so sweet. I'm just going through all these comments.
I'm jealous. Now I want my cover.
Your time will come. Hi guys, said I missed this. I wasn't feeling motivated to write, but just seeing this helped. Hopefully I'll make it next time. That's a great name. Loves it. Well, Billy, if you are not doing anything Sunday, I'm actually going live with Alyssa in the Books, who is in the chat over here. I think we're doing it at 2 p.m. Is that what my YouTube says? I think so. It is mystery thriller. Famous. Mock-ups, like just Alyssa's reactions are everything. I love this. This is getting real. It really is. Like when we were having this conversation, I was like, "Oh my god, I want my cover maybe in 2029." Cries in Tradpod. I mean, if you want to just spend your own money to have someone make a design prior,
you could.
No one's gonna stop you. You're an adult. You do what you want. If you want to just have your own cover for yourself, even if you're not going to publish it yourself, you can still do it. Because why not?
Facts.
Invest in the work you've been doing. See?
Yes.
True. True. But frame a mock-up on your wall as inspiration. Exactly. And motivation.
I support that.
We love that. I do too. I support it. Everyone should do it. Yeah. I mean,
if you have cash.
if you have the spare cash, it is a little expensive.
It's very expensive.
Me personally, just because I'm all about transparency, for me, my artist, he is providing me with ebook, paperback, because I don't plan on doing hardcover, because typically mystery thrillers, I don't really find too many hardcovers in that genre. So we're just doing ebook and paperback. I'm getting like marketing stuff that's going to have like, it's going to look like the book is standing up for like marketing. I can like post it on Instagram and it's all pretty and whatever. He's doing all of that. And also I get like, the PDFs and the whatevers for a total of $500. So that's what I am paying. Obviously every artist is different. And I also found mine through Reedsy. Not sponsored, but that's who I used. Reedsy, if you see this, sponsor me.
Yeah, and we talked about rates a little bit. If anyone is curious, my cover designer is $450, so pretty similar ballpark to Cody, and that includes ebook, paperback, and I also did a hardcover, not a dust jacket, like straight up on the hardcover book.
Yeah.
So,
but also hardcovers are very common in fantasy, I feel like.
Yes.
Pretty much all the fantasy books that I own are hardcover, I think.
Yeah, there's something about a hardcover fantasy. I was like, I gotta go for it.
It's just aesthetic, and also, or would you ever do anything with like sprayed edges if you could figure out how to do that?
love to. And I've seen some self-published authors collab with those companies that do special editions that are like so elaborate and gorgeous. I would love to do that too.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at Alyssa. I love a naked hardback. Like,
There's something about it.
it really is. Well, anytime I read a hardback cover that does have a dust jacket, I take the dust jacket off.
Really? You take the dust jacket off?
But while I'm reading it, I put it back on once it goes back on the shelf.
That's fair.
But for me, it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes it falls out, but also I like to read in the bath, and sometimes it'll fall off and get wet. And I don't want that to happen. So as few things that are attached to the book as possible is the best for me. And also, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a neurodivergent thing. It's I like the feel of the naked hardback, as Alyssa called it, as opposed to like the dust jacket. It's beautiful to look at, but for sensory reasons, I don't like it on there.
I feel that.
Wait, that price does make me feel optimistic. How exciting. Yes, there are so many, different artists and good deals out there. And there are even some, like, I know for Christian, the guy that I picked, he said that, if I work with him in the future, if I choose to work with him in the future, then as like a return customer, he would give me discounts the next time we go through all of this. So, you never know. Find you an artist that works great. I know a lot of author tubers share the artists that they use or like the website they went to. I personally went to Reedsy, and I use his name is Christian Storm, which is such a cool name.
Yeah, I actually think our prices, from what I've seen, are on the higher end. Like, you can definitely get cheaper designers. Both of the artists that we went with have worked on some bigger projects, so I feel like they're on the more expensive side. So you could definitely get a good cover for like $200. I've seen a lot of authors do that.
And also editing, also like developmental editing, line editing, copy editing. Those prices can be as expensive as you make them. And sometimes I will say it's a little more difficult with that. My advice for if you're ever hiring an editor, if they do not offer a sample edit, it is a red flag. Do not hire them. Editors should be offering some sort of sample edit, whether it be like the first couple pages, the first chapter, the first like 2,000 words, something. They should offer that. And if they don't hire them. That's basically what I have learned. I haven't hired anyone to do that yet, but I just learned from other author tubers that is a red flag. So I hope that helps any of you that might be looking for an editor in the future. Yes, I am quite neurospicy, but I am medicated, so it's fine. Is he a mafia boss? Not that I know of, but he seems like a really nice man. He was super chill and just super excited to get to know my story. Like, it really felt like he was interested to hear about my story, where it came from, like a lot of the deeper stuff, deeper level things, which was really just it was so nice. I guess this extends. Yes, it does.
That's honestly so nice that you feel like you could tell he was actually interested. Like, I feel like that would be so reassuring that you picked a good artist, like a good fit.
And just I mean, I haven't even seen any of his concepts he's going to come up with, but just talking to him, it just seemed like a good fit. And also he's very, responsive in the chat and all that good stuff. So we love.
That's good.
Alyssa, please. But I'm sure he's definitely not a mafia boss. No, he's not. But also, I don't know his life, what he does outside of his cover design.
True.
So you have yours booked for April, right?
Yes, I booked it so far in advance.
You did.
I don't know why I did that to myself. I was like, oh, it'll give me like something to work with. But I am so excited about it. She did say that I could move up the date if I wanted to. But
because I was going to say, was that just like her first availability, or is she available sooner?
She was available sooner. It was more so when I thought I would be ready, because I wanted to have enough information to really do it right and not be like, oh, I was totally wrong about the book concept. Like, let's redo this. And to have a good synopsis for the back, although I know obviously they can update that if needed. But yeah, we'll see if I end up moving it up a couple months or if I just wait till April, tragically.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I knew so much more about my story after I did the second draft. So, maybe by the time you get closer towards the end of this draft that you're on right now, you'll know a little bit more or a lot more. about your story and like really, oh, my computer did a weird thing, about your story and, you know, like the big, I guess, themes and concepts and
Yeah.
whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, very excited. So I just wanted to share all of that with you. You're the first to know. All of you in the stream, you're the first to know. So congratulations. um,
The exclusive content. Love
yeah,
it.
exclusive content. See, if you come to the stream, sometimes you get a sneak peek of the future on
True.
of my channel. But I say we go ahead and do one last stream for, let's say, 15 minutes. Does that sound good to you?
Let's do it.
Okay. And also, I know you said you might need to step off. So if you need to step off in the middle of the 15, do you think you will, or should we do 10?
Can we do 10? That would be great.
We'll do 10. No worries, no worries. Let me fix it to make it look like 10 minutes. And then we will do quick outros after the 10 minutes. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, everyone. We're strapping in for the last 10 minutes of focus for the evening. Best of luck to all of you. Happy writing. Here we go.
Good luck.
All right. Final stream. How did you do?
Dare I say the most productive sprint I had, honestly. I got into
Yay.
on some dialogue and I don't know, things were just happening. I'll have to comb through it later and see where the gold is, but I was getting emotional, so
Oh, I love that. That's so fun. Yeah, I'm about to get to a very fun discovery that's supposed to happen. I got like another like I think 150 words.
nice.
We'll take it. I'm
That's
very excited for the next part because we're about to be ramping up into the finale.
heck yeah, that's so exciting.
Uh, we're about to have our really big plot twist of the story happen. So I'm really excited to rewrite that part. But
That is
yeah,
exciting.
really quick, because I saw one comment that I starred. Totally new here, but how long have you been working on your book? Funny that you should ask, because for some reason, when I started drafting it in Google Docs, it automatically created an anniversary on my calendar.
Wait,
And
that's fun.
so October 22nd is going to be my 1 year anniversary for this story. And so, yeah, almost a year. How long have you been working on your story, Brielle?
Very similarly. I think I had written a little bit before Nano last year, but I mainly started it during Nano, so coming up on a year as well.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Alyssa bought a standing desk. we love that. We told you to spend money on a cover design, not a standing desk. But you know what? It's fine. You did the thing. Very exciting. Sounds like good progress. 137 words. 1.8K word mark for revisions.
That's huge.
Slay. Love that for you. Beefed up chapter 7. Okay. Added like, what, 350 words?
That's a lot.
That's exciting. Finally working on a scene that isn't might only take an hour and not 4 this time. I believe in you, bottled water. You got this. But that is going to be it from us for the evening. Brielle, where can the kids find you?
The kids
Yeah.
on YouTube at Brielle Writes and on Instagram at Brielle is Writing.
Slay, slay. Yes, and if you are not subscribed to Brielle, what are you even doing? You can follow her journey now that she is vlogging in Seattle in a whole new city. She's going to take you on all kinds of tours of coffee shops and also tell you all about her fantasy novel revisions. And it sounds like here soon she'll have some content of her outlining book 2.
True. Outlining.
So go and subscribe to her if you're not already. And if you want to come and subscribe to me, Cody the Writer on YouTube, that's pretty much where I post. I don't really post anywhere else. You can subscribe to me. I'm going to be doing coming soon, like outlining stuff for my next book as well as I'm going to be doing like a fast draft vlogs for November. 0 draft zoomies, I think, is going to be the consensus at this point.
Yeah.
So that will be what I'll be doing. And also, you can find me on Sunday on this channel streaming with Alyssa and the Books. She just bought a brand new standing desk. Maybe she'll have it by Sunday. I don't know. But, lots of good content on both Brielle and my channel. If you would like to subscribe, it's absolutely free. And we appreciate all of you for being here this evening to write with us and to listen to us yap.
Yes.
And I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. And if you're going to continue writing after the stream, happy writing. Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.